6 years is a long time to be absent from life, but it is an entire era online. This is the story of a man who spent 6 years in prison in Iran over his web activities, and when freed, found an entirely different internet. I am Hossein Darakhshan. I was freed from jail in November 2014. I used to have a popular blog called Editor Myself, and because of my serious efforts to promote blogs, they gave me the funny title of Blog Father here. Tehran has changed a lot during this time. Many old houses are replaced by high-rise luxurious condos. There are new roads, new highways, and many big SUVs. There are numerous large billboards with advertising for Swiss-made watches and Korean flat-screen TVs. And everybody seems more colorful and stylish, especially women. And hundreds of new cafes have opened up with Western music and female staff. This was all a huge surprise to me. The most shocking thing for me was how the internet had changed. I had heard about social networks' importance, and I knew that now everybody used them. What I didn't know was that they had not just killed blogging as I knew it, but also they had stolen most of our readers. Writing and publishing in social media was not much different from writing in a blog, but getting your posts read, or at least viewed by them, had become a big challenge. I started my blog, a new one, in Persian, about books and ideas. And I knew that I had to share it on social media, so I shared it on Facebook and Twitter. But in the first few days, it only received 4, 5, 6 likes. I started to think and reflect, and I used social networks to share my thoughts. Gradually, I realized that blogs are practically dead. And the reason for that was not the social networks per se. It was their treatment of hyperlinks and the philosophy behind their algorithms of representation, or what is now called the stream. Facebook's newsfeed is a stream. The idea is that not everyone's posts are interesting for you. So Facebook's algorithms pick the ones that are more recent and they have already received some likes, and they're about topics that you've already shown an interest in. In other words, the stream equates importance with newness and popularity. This is exactly like the real world, where youth and fame, or better to say, young celebrities, have dominated our cultures. Sadly, the once utopian virtual world is finally catching up with the depressing rules of the real world. Meanwhile, social networks are obsessively trying to keep us inside. So they are not big fans of hyperlinks, which take their users outside. Some, like Instagram, are simply preventing hyperlinks. Others, like Facebook, are degrading the hyperlink. Facebook only allows one link in a post, which is separate from the text, not part of it. It then treats that link like an object rather than a relation between inside and outside. It strips the hyperlink of its diversifying and decentralizing powers. The rise of the stream and the fall of hyperlinks have resulted in a very different internet compared to 6 years ago. Web pages outside social networks are dying, and there are less and less people who are clicking on links in their newsfeed. They're also much less exposed to different opinion than before. Because of this tyranny of the popular, minority views are quashed and they are being radicalized as a result. The truth is that the internet is much less diverse now. Apart from deviating from the web's diverse nature, the internet is also becoming quite centralized with social networks. Now huge amounts of user-generated content is kept within social networks' gigantic databases. We hardly own what we produce, and the risk of losing them is very high. Also, we are giving so much detail about our preferences that we have become extremely predictable to states and big corporations. And predictability means control. A recent study shows that Facebook can know you better than your parents with only 150 likes, and even better than your spouses with 300 likes. I think human race has never been so naked and so powerless. Blogs used to be the closest form to the vision of Tim Berners-Lee, who invented the World Wide Web. They provided a non-sequential, decentralized, active, and diverse way of representing information. With Facebook, blogs are dead. Now the internet is defined not by an interconnected collection of websites, but by a series of disconnected and centralized social networks and mobile apps that are gradually making web browsers irrelevant. The web started from academia. It involved lots of thinking, reading, and debating. It had an unprecedented intellectual power. But now the social networks are making it more of entertainment. This centralized, linear, programmed, and inward-looking medium is not the internet as we knew it. It is television. When we log on to Facebook, our personal television starts broadcasting, with more and more still and moving images or short paragraphs of text. And it all is individually tailored for us according to our preferences. Perhaps there is no way to save the web. The shift from what I call library internet to TV internet is sadly inevitable, as billions of people are connecting. After all, television is one of the few cultural forms that is still rapidly growing all around the world. It now dominates media, arts, and even politics. But that doesn't mean we have to give up. If we care about peace in our complicated world, and if we know about the great potentials that the internet had, we need to resist and fight to keep that vision alive.